One prominent aspect of independent digital filmmaking within the digital realm is created through the use of video games. It is called machinima. Machinima is traditionally seen as real-time manipulation of a character model in a gaming environment, in which a new narrative can be constructed. One modern style of machinima is Let's Play, which usually involve one or more players commentating as they play.
I'm to the chef.
This is usually not planned and more spontaneous, rather than a walkthrough which simply pertains to fulfilling the game's objective. There are other forms of machinima which involve an edit of pre-recorded game footage, such as cutscenes, which usually spoof it. Prominent machinima pioneer Hugh Hancock claims that to create machinima one must have a proficient level experience with computers and game interfaces, as well as moderately powerful PCs. He says that these limitations skew the machinima world towards the traditional technophile demographic: white, male, middle class, age 14 to 45. Vast majority is produced by white males for the consumption of white males. Although this may be true, over time computers have become more cheap and accessible, and 81% of England's population own a computer. Regardless, we believe that we as students fit within Hancock's perception of the demographic, and threw this short machinima example together to highlight this.
Oh, it's like a week's worth of stress is washing off. And the timing's perfect. I was hoping to look nice for somebody.
She's interested.
Everything cuts out after that.
Reverse and hold at 38.5. Word. Guess that explains why I bump into him every time I turn around.
This is an example of your typical game-orientated parody involving a gay twist, which on its own provides the comedic value. Whereas the lesbian sex scene is not commented upon due to the male demography that would generally be aroused by a lesbian encounter, while uncomfortable about the gay one.
This begs the question of where women are in this. Although, much like the male-dominated film industry, the creators of machinima are predominantly male. That is not to say that there is not a fair share of female machinima creators. A significant part of the Sims machinima is made by females. This is however unsurprising, as a 2008 study showed that females were mostly motivated into playing games that involve relationship and customization features, which are both major aspects of the Sims games. Males, however, showed more interest in the mechanical and competitive elements. As already shown in our Mass Effect spoof, voyeurism is also a somewhat prevalent element in a male-produced machinima, even to this day. In terms of a percentage of female gamers, as of March 2013, over the previous 36 months, Machinima's female audience had seen an almost 300% increase. At this rate, nearly half of Machinima's audience will be female by March 2016. This is believed to have been partly due to the popularity of casual games. Rooster Teeth Productions, the makers of Red vs. Blue, have been assigned by software giant Electronic Arts to make advertising machinima spots for EA sports games. This shows that amateur machinima is making its mark on the game industry. Considering EA also owns a Sims franchise, raises the possibility of them using Sims machinima, which could then potentially draw a larger female audience, who could then go on to make their own machinima. Males may not oppose the larger integration of females, however. A Yi study showed that 27% of female gamers were introduced by a romantic partner, and a number of participants of the study stated that their husband or boyfriend introduced them to the technology used to record footage and make machinima. To conclude, machinima is still heavily dominated by males, but that could be subject to change with the growing fanbase of machinima, as well as the increasing accessibility of video games and technology. This could potentially change the content of what we expect in machinima.